Good morning, minions. I want to talk to you guys about how we're dealing with our grief right now. Just because I like to use YouTube as my outlet and a source of being able to talk to somebody. YouTube's my outlet. So how are we dealing with the grief right now? We don't show it all the time on camera. Of course, you guys have seen enough onions. I mean, we've cried many times. We are not talking to counselors at the moment. I mean, every now and then we'll talk to pastors of our church. Ronnie and I both mutually agree that we just cannot talk to counselors at the moment. We don't want to bring up the hard feelings. We don't want to bring up the bad feelings. We just don't want to talk about it with someone else. Ronnie and I will talk about it with each other. And the really cool thing about Ronnie and I, our relationship, as hard as our relationship has been, and honestly, it's really been stressful on our relationship, Ronnie will have his moments and I'll hold him tight because I understand. And then I'll have my moments and he'll hold me tight because he understands. And we're both pretty open about talking to each other about the situation, how we feel. It's not easy at all. It's so not easy. I just want to crawl back into bed and just shut out the whole world sometimes. Sometimes I just don't want to deal with it and I just want to lay in bed and cover my head and just cry or sleep. Today I feel like I wish I could have saved him. I know I'll hear, oh, you've done all that you can do. I feel like I didn't do enough. That's how I'm dealing with my grief lately. I feel like I could have changed plans, but then I'm also very grateful that he's no longer suffering. He's living a happy afterlife and he's no longer in suffering pain, and the afterlife is just an amazing afterlife for him, and he's happy and wrestling up in heaven, you know. And but for me, it hurts, and I just sometimes grief can take the better part of me. Today is a rough day for me and I don't even feel like I want to do anything. I don't want to go to the gym, I don't want to eat. I just don't want to do anything. I just know that Ronnie's taking it harder than me. And sometimes I feel like I could be strong and then he's weak, and then I'm weak and he's strong, and we try to find joy and happiness and laughter to be able to get ourselves through. If we weren't trying to find positivity, I don't know how I could be sane enough just to get through the day. Force myself to find some sort of joy and positivity to get me through the day. I know he's not feeling anything, but I feel it. It's like I feel his pain. It's like I've taken on his pain and suffering because, I don't know, we are dealing with the grief as best as we possibly can. We are. I miss him. I miss him so much. It feels so empty not being able to hold him. If I could just have that one more hug, that one more kiss. People tell us all the time that we're so strong. I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this position. I don't want to have to grieve. I don't want to. But I'm forced to. I'm forced to be strong. Some days are better than other days. some days I'm laughing and happy, and then just some days like today I just completely lose it. There's so much in this house that makes me think of him and feel him, and it just hurts. Losing a child is completely different than losing a grandma or grandpa, because at least the grandma and grandpa's got to live out their whole life. Elijah had 9 years on this earth. I remember when I was 9 years old. I had such a happy and wonderful childhood. My parents raised me right, you know? And I just can't imagine thinking about if I ever suffered the way my son suffered. Elijah was so inspiring to me. How he looked at the brighter side of life. He looked at life with the best of intentions. He was happy no matter what. He smiled through his last days. He was smiling as best as he can. I miss that kid. He was an amazing kid. And I feel so honored. I feel so honored to be his mom. I gave birth to such a wonderful, both my kids, not just Elijah, Cayden too. I feel so honored to give birth to such amazing children who respected and loved. And like I said at our memorial, if Elijah knew one thing in this world, he knew love. He was love. He was the description of love through suffering and pain. He didn't hate. The way I grieve is different from somebody else that grieves, and people will give me suggestions and what I should do and what I shouldn't do, and they're not necessarily haters, guys. They're not. It's just the best of intentions of other people, which is fine, but just because you grieve one way doesn't mean I'm gonna grieve the same way. Ronnie and I and Cayden and the rest of you guys loved him so much. How does one bury a child? We're dealing with our grief. We are. We're just not always dealing with it on camera. And every day we're crying. Almost every day we're crying. Every day is a hard day. But Ronnie and I made it a goal to make the best of it. Because Elijah would want us to live our lives. He would want us to smile. He would want us to be happy. He would want us to live life. And that's what his wishes were. And the words, one of his last words to Ronnie and his last words to me were, "Daddy, you are the best dad any kid could have." He told Ronnie that. And then he hugged me and he said, "You're the best mom any kid could have." I just miss that little voice, his laugh, his goofiness, his hyperness. I just miss it all so much. We're taking it day by day, but it is our goal to live life for Elijah, and that's what we're gonna do. Thank you for your support, your comments, your loving and kindness. We love you.